Hi everyone, we're going to talk about the hunger and why this is a problem all around the world. So, I'm going to start asking you a simple question. Can you imagine yourself without eating anything in one day? So, if you can imagine your life without eating one day, imagine the people that cannot eat in maybe a week. So, that's the situation of 800 million people all around the world, and 300 of that million are kids. So maybe we don't think how privileged we are for having dinner, breakfast, or I don't know, simple snacks every day. We can imagine how much people there's outside without taking any food in a day. Well, I think that if we can ask every people all around the world what they can change about the world, the first thing, like the most people going to say, is that they want to protect the people who is suffering hunger all around the world. And this is because it's a huge problem. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about all the facts that that help hunger be that big and help the hunger to be one of the most difficult problems we're facing right now. And a lot of the times, actually, well, there's a lot of reasons because now the hunger exists. One of those are poorness and exclusion. Obviously, when you don't have a job, and in these days, I think everything is rising, talking about prices. Here in Mexico, just la canasta básica is super expensive for the people who live in the day. So what I want to say is there's people outside who only want maybe 20 pesos in a day, and they cannot like buy everything that the canasta básica has. Like, I don't know, milk, eggs, tortillas maybe, I don't know. It's super difficult to get a decent meal here in Mexico if you win less than 100 pesos here in Mexico. So this is one of the problems, and it's not only here. There's a lot of poorness all around the world, and it is one of the most difficult problems for facing the hunger because it's not that easy to eliminate the poorness all around the world. So another fact is the climate change, but that is going to be more, we're going to talk about it previously with my friend Sebas, who is going to explain it. The conflicts all around the world, there's a lot of wars, like the one who is taking time right now in Syria and in all that countries in the Middle East. I think it's super difficult to get food when all your city is burning and every day it's like trying to survive a war. It's super difficult to get food when it's a conflict going on in your country. Other fact that is super important for this problem is that we waste a lot of food. We see so easy to go out and go to a restaurant and ask some food, and then you don't finish it, so you just return it and they just take it to the trash because they cannot serve it to another customer. So imagine that every day a lot of people around the world does that. It's a huge problem because there are a lot of resources that can be used for other people that really needs it, and we're just wasting it. So maybe it's the least difficult problem because we can make a difference. We can try to take that food with us And if you see someone that really needs it in your way home, you can give it to them. But a lot of people doesn't do that. But I think that could be one of the resolutions for this problem. um we need to make conscious about that this is a real problem, that it's a problem that cannot be solved that easy, because it's a problem that has been taking time since always. But I think it's something that we need to eradicate, because of a lot of people is suffering for that. It's like I said at the beginning, it's impossible to imagine a day without having any meal or something. I think it's super hard to live like that. And we don't even look at how lucky we are for having food every day. Well, we can make a lot of things to make this conflict change. I think that we need to make conscious, like I said a lot of times before. um, we need to make a change for this to doesn't happen anymore.
Hi, I'm gonna talk about environmental problems that can be one of the major reasons of why there is so much hunger in the world. And I want to start with the most frequently one, that is pollution. Now, the way this affects is really dangerous to the human health, because basically all the food and all the gills just get contaminated with chemicals that can be dangerous to the human health. And now you will ask, and how this make a problem to the hunger? And it's because all of this food is already a waste, because that's contaminated, and there's a lot of less food for the people with low resources, and that's like a really big problem. And also another point I want to touch is the fact that the um, waves of heat and the global warming, it also affects this kind of process to harvest some food, because with all these climate change, the seasons also change. So basically, if your yield needs some water to the rain or some sun, there could be, with these seasonal changes, a lot of the nutrients that they need, they really don't get it because of these changes. And also with the waves of heat, all the food just don't receive they need, because that's a lot of hotness, a lot of heatness. So they also get in this composition, and it's already a big waste of food. And the third point that I think could be the most important, that the why the hunger is a really big problem, is because the overpopulation. So in this case, if someone's already in problems to find any food and things like that, just imagine that another person that have so many resources and can get some food so easy, just like wasted, because it's really that people just like takes so much food, and there's sometimes that they even don't need it, and that's a lot of waste also. And there's like these low communities that really need some food, but people just don't like care enough, care more from themselves for themselves, to like make a contribution to these low communities. And that's like also a really big problem. And if I have to mention another point, I will say that a lot of major environment issues, like the earthquake, tsunamis, and things like that, because like if you are already, let's say, in hunger, and then this catastrophe happens near you, there will be a lot of um, escasez of resources. So you need to, sorry, you don't need. You have this big issue in your hands because you will have a lot of, how you say it, you will have to try to get some food from other places, and maybe your home will get destroyed, your personal things will get destroyed, and so in that way you will be in hunger and poorness, and that's a really big issue that a lot of communities live around these like volcanoes that present sometimes a really big activity, and that can be really dangerous to them, and the fact that they really lost everything makes a really big problem, and they just end in poorness, in hunger, and like there's a lot of organizations that are already trying to help these people, but the problem is more than that, more big, and they need.
And teacher, my name is Sergio, and today I'm going to talk about feeding and food products. Okay, let's start. The waste of food products includes every type of waste food during the supply process between the producer and consumer until it eats it or throws it away. More than a third of the world food products are wasted. This contrasts with the data of the countries with severe famine. I'm going to tell you some causes, consequences, and solutions. First, I'm going to start with the causes. The one of the principal causes of waste food products are the pre-harvest problems like pests or misuse of fertilizers. The second cause is bad storage. The third cause is mismanagement of fresh produces. And the another problem is excessive food preparation. That includes in restaurants, in homes, and etc. I'm going with the consequence. One of the important consequences about waste food products are environmental because we waste a lot of volumes of water, in produce this food. So we don't have infinite water. We have to reserve the water we have because it's vitality for life. Another problem is the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that produce because we use excessive the ground, and we don't think for the damage we are causing to the earth. And then I'm going to tell you some of solutions that I found, and I think it's a good solutions for this problem. One of solution is lower production. Uh, the second solution is efficient use of ground and water to use the product. Third is check the date of expiry in your homes. No, if you have meat, chicken frozen, you have to check when it expires because we check late late and we don't eat that food. We just throw to the garbage, and that's not correct because other people can use that food. Finish my presentation and my information. So I want to thank to my teacher for hearing me. Goodbye. Have a nice day.